I want to welcome y'all to this episode, and I want to say goodbye to some of y'all because I will probably make some of y'all mad, and y'all probably unfriend me and say all kinds of nasty stuff against me. I know some of y'all do that already, but that's okay. I'm a Christian, I'm conservative, and I hold on to my Bible and hold on to my guns. But that being said, let's talk about what's going on this week. We had another school shooting. There were 6 victims in it. Looked like 3 adult workers and 3 children were at the Christian school. Uh, the monster that did it was uh, shot and killed. Good for the police department sending that person to hell. You know, it sure does. People sure do like to work their way into hell, don't they? Uh, from what I've been able to gather from everything they've said on the news is that it was a trans person that did it, and she left her reasoning for targeting the school. This, believe it or not, this does play into the Bible of the end days because the rapture is going to be a rescue of the church. And now the world is starting to attack us where it hurts, is starting to attack our kids. And God is not going to look on that very fondly. In fact, God says it's better for you to have a millstone tied around your neck and cast into the deepest ocean rather than face Him on Judgment Day for hurting one of the little ones. Uh, and almost immediately before any news came out, guns, 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 guns. In this case, it wasn't some madman with a gun. It was a person who had an axe to grind against the Christian community. Uh, I will say there are those that say that there were 7 victims, counting the murder, but I'm only going to say 6 victims plus the murderer. Murder wasn't a victim. Murder got what she deserved. That's I'm not going to tiptoe around it. She got what she deserved. If you take a life, you had to have your life taken. That's biblical. That's Old Testament justice. And Jesus says He came not to destroy the Old Testament, but to fulfill the Old Testament. So to me, that means some of the old contract still stands. Well, all the old contract still stands. Uh, persons is now getting what they deserve right now in the afterlife, and they will get it for an eternity. Uh, Too bad, so sad. And I really am. It upsets me that she probably went to hell. Nobody deserves hell, but people choose to go there, and she chose to go there. Uh, President Trump being indicted should make the political race a bit more interesting, to say the least. I think this will probably backfire on the Democrats, and I think it might get Trump reelected because everybody's going to see this as a political witch hunt. Now, did he do it? Yeah, he did. Is against the law? Probably. They saying it should have been a high misdemeanor and not a felony. My only thing is, if you're going to do this to him, then the next politician that does that, you do the same thing too. Because if you don't, then that's going to show everybody what this is, and that he's running as a political witch hunt. Uh, I believe if you commit a crime, you ought to do the time. But at the same time, I believe that the law should be equally sent across the board. If a Democrat commits a crime, he should get the same payment. Republican gets the crime, he should get the same payment, not more. For a Democrat, not less. Be real about it. That's why you have so much problems in America, because evidently we have two sets of laws, one for the Democrats and conservatives and Christians, and one for the liberals, Democrats, and everything else. Uh, some of y'all gonna say that's not the truth, but I'm saying that's what it looks like, that's what the people are seeing, and that's why there's so much problems now. I'm to the point right now that we should disband America, and we got two options. We can have two countries. You have a blue state country and a red state country. Or we can have 50 separate countries and maybe come up with a treaty that we would all come to the other's aid. I doubt whether that worked though, because there's going to be some of y'all that's going to say, let the liberals die, they asked for it, or let the conservatives die because they asked for it. Either way, I do not see how this country recovers. And as of today, we can see that the American experiment that lasted over 200 and some odd years is doomed to failure. We're going to fail in our democracy or republic, because we are not a democracy, we are a republic. I don't see anything bringing us together. You know, I go back to the shooting that we talked about at first, and that it was organized and planned attack on a Christian school by a trans person. And I'm sorry, Christians do not, cannot accept that as a lifestyle. The Bible clearly teaches against it. And the Bible clearly teaches, but the Bible clearly teaches against heterosexuals too. And we do just as much damage as the trans does to the kids. But let's dial this back to what it's really about. Now, I saw this in my teaching days. I saw it a lot. I'd say over 50% of the families are this way. Parents don't raise kids anymore. It's the grandparents that's raising them. Parents are out there having a good time, or they're locked up for having too good of a time, or they're laying in some ditch shooting up dope. And they ain't got time for their kids, and they don't want their kids. Or if they want their kids, they want their dope more than they want their kids. In fact, they want the dope more than they want to breathe in some cases. I think that it's coming back to bite us. We have lost the moral fiber that held America together. We've lost our families. Over half the marriages now end in divorce. You don't like your family, divorce them. You don't want to have a baby right now, abort them. You don't want to be tied down to a baby that's got problems, abort them. You made a mistake and you don't want to take a chance on getting pregnant, take a pill. Let the pill abort the baby. You want to see how it's like to get married? So you move in together. You go against God's law to see if you can be married or not. But let me tell you something. As soon as you sleep with a woman, or as soon as you sleep with a man, in God's eyes, you're married. In God's eyes, you don't look at another woman. You don't have sex with another woman. You don't even lust after another woman, because just even thinking about it is a sin. Not actually doing it, just thinking about it. I talked about sin before. Some sins are black and white, and other sins are in gray area. But thinking about a woman after you're married is a sin. That's in the black area. That's not in the gray area. Remember, gray areas are stuff that you think is a sin, so therefore to you it is a sin. Getting back to Trump. What Trump did wrong? Oh, I don't know. She made a lot of money off of it, and he was out a lot of money, so neither party was happy. So it must have been a pretty good deal. Uh, as I said, next politician that does that on this side or the other side, they better hold him to the same fire they held Trump to, or else there's going to be hell to pay. Which they still may be hell to pay when all this goes down. January 6th may just look like a little tea party compared to what's about to happen. Here's my feeling on how it happens. Number one, you do that, you bring it to court. He's found guilty in New York, because New York's going to do that. They'll kick an emergency for the Supreme Court to look at it. Since he's running for president, they'll look at it, and they will determine that it's a misdemeanor, not a felony, so therefore he can run. Trump will win the election, because they'll see this as a witch hunt. Was it? Maybe not. But it's like I told the people in Star Trek Fleet Command that, what y'all do may be right. But if you look at how you do it, it comes off as wrong. I tell you what this looks like to me. Trump was not one of the guys that ran for office. Trump was an outsider. So you're going to try to totally discredit and destroy the outsider, so that the next outsider that runs will decide not to run. Politicians truly believe that they're the only ones that can run this country, and they can't run jack. I've said it in my writing. I'll say it right here. Every politician ought to be arrested and tried for treason against the United States government, against the U.S. Constitution. They're not doing what they're supposed to. They are picking party over the people. That's why we got so many fentanyl deaths and so many people coming over here. So much crime going on, because nobody's getting punished for it. And nobody seems to understand that. I do not know why. But then I go back to the Bible again. When John looked into the future, he saw this, and he told us that it was going to happen. He said what's good is going to be bad, and what's bad is going to be good. And there won't be any punishment for anything. That's exactly what's happening. Things are not going to get any better. Things are just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. You think this is going to be the first attack on Christians in America? You think this is going to be the only one? No. It's going to be a whole lot more. It's going to get so bad real quickly that God's going to have to come down here and take the church to save us. it's like I've always said, this is an exciting time. I almost feel terrible that it's the time it is, because some of you non-Christians, and I know this is my opinion, got a friend of mine, we argue about this all the time. It's my opinion, it ain't y'all's opinion. It's my truth and not y'all's truth, but it is the truth. And one day you're going to find out. When that day comes and we are all taken, you haven't seen the last of us. You haven't seen the last of the people you killed. China, you haven't seen the last of the missionaries you butchered. Russia, you haven't seen the last of the missionaries you butchered. We're coming back. And when we come back, the whole world will kneel before our leader. But of course, but for them, by then, it's going to be too late. And they'll have all the judgments, and then the very last one will be the great white throne judgment. And every non-Christian is going to have to sit there and face the great white seat. Whether you were just some poor schmuck, or whether you were the premier of Russia, or the emperor of Japan, you will have to stand before Jehovah God. And you will have to face the punishment that you could have avoided if you'd gotten your life right before. As they say, payday is someday. Payday is coming. We're coming. You can kill us. You can torture us and allow us to die. You can throw us in graves. You can burn our bodies. Do anything you want. But we will be back. And we're going to take what's ours. That's all I got to say today. If you like it, be sure to hit the like button down there. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe, because I would like to get to 1,000 followers. If you liked it, be sure other than subscribe and like it, you tell a friend about it so they can like and subscribe. Now, if you didn't like it, here's what I want you to do. I want you to hit the like button, and then you go tell somebody you don't like about me how good I am, and then they can come over here and listen for themselves and not like it. And they can tell someone they don't like. All right, guys, y'all have a good week. We'll see y'all next week. Talk to you later. Goodbye. And we are ending it now.